Did it work, Brianna? Liani, can you test your mic? See if it works?
Yeah, I think so. It works.
Okay. Brianna, I can just hear your like environment and the clicking, but I can't hear you. Try speaking in, Brianna.
Can you hear me
There you go. Yeah, I can hear you now.
now? Okay.
So I've just got two of you, and I want to share something with you all really quick before I get into like the announcements. Let's see if I can share my screen. Okay. Can you tell me if you see a map?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a map showing the migration pattern for monarch butterflies. If you all are not aware, monarchs are not endangered yet, but they might almost be on the endangered species list just because their numbers are going down significantly. They're migrating down from Canada, they're going to Mexico, which means that they're coming here. And it won't let me zoom in on this map, and I'll link the map in the chat as well, but you can check the dates and see the distribution of the butterflies. Right now, where we're at, they're supposed to be here soon. So, probably within maybe between now and a few weeks, you're going to start seeing monarch butterflies. And let's see if we can Google a monarch butterfly for you really quickly. They look similar to a queen's butterfly, but they're a lot larger. Like they're pretty big. They're probably as big as your hand. Like they're huge and they're super brightly colored. Like the way that they look on here is not an exaggeration. It's not a manipulation of the photo. Like they're really, really vibrant in color and they're beautiful. But so they've got one holding one here. They're probably even bigger than that. They're huge. Have you all ever seen these before? I had never seen one before until maybe 2 years ago. But then again, I also wasn't looking for them. So I don't know. Have you all ever seen them before?
I sometimes see them.
Right now, in my garden, there's a lot of these, which look very similar. And so they have it's like a mimicry. They look like monarchs, but they're not monarchs. I mean, yeah, I like that, I guess. Yeah, they kind of look like that. Am I in the shopping? What is this? Yes. I want to buy anything. These are super common. I have tons of these in my garden, but they're a lot smaller. They're not as pretty. They're going to be more brown, whereas the monarch is more of that like really bright orange. So they are different. You can see them pretty good here. You can see a good picture. Let's see. Open image in new tab. So these I have a lot in my yard yet, but I'm waiting on the monarchs to come. So keep an eye out. If you did not know, they only lay their eggs on a specific plant, which is called milkweed, which is why their numbers are so low, because they can't find the plant to lay their eggs on. And so I planted some in my yard, and hopefully this year I can get some monarch little caterpillars on there. I might take a video of my garden so that you all can kind of see it and get an idea of how you could make one at your house if you were to want one. But yeah, I wanted to bring that to your attention. If you see these guys, just know they're migrating. The other things that are migrating right now are the hummingbirds. Hummingbirds are in migration right now, so keep an eye out for that. Let's stop sharing, and then let me go ahead and go into the updates with you guys really quick. Can you all see my agenda?
Yes.
Okay. For the first thing, Respondus and exams. The only thing I wanted to mention on Respondus is just to, if it gives you a flag, just make sure that you read it. Like a lot of times I have students where I can't see their face. I can only see like their eyes and their forehead. So if you are getting the flags, and it does show a flag, if you see a flag on your screen, that means that you need to adjust your computer webcam. If you need to move it up or move it down. And then also, I can hear you. Like I'll hear, and I'm not speaking to you too specifically, but I can hear kids like cussing at the camera. So just be conscious of that. I can hear you, and I have to review the footage, so just keep that in mind. Like I'm not like watching you minute by minute, but I skim through the footage, and sometimes I come across things that I wish I didn't come across. So just be wary of that. That I can hear you and I can see what's going on. But also, mostly it was just so that if you see a flag, make sure that you are reading it and that you adjust your webcam, because then I have to review the footage more just to make sure that there's nothing, I guess, suspicious in that. The other thing is, if you're going to send me an email, I have kids sending me emails, and I like that. I'm very happy that you're emailing me. And the only thing that I ask is that if you could just include what section you belong to. I'll have kids that are asking, like, did I submit my assignment? And like, yes, I can go check, but also I have a lot of classes. So if you could just do me the favor of putting your name and which section you're in, if you're section 15, 17, 73, whatever it is, that helps me a lot, so I don't have to just be going through all the classes and looking for you. Just if you could add that for me. The task list is due tonight. It's not a big deal as far as like a format. I just need the names of the students and what topic they're going to be researching, because each student in your group does need to do research. I can't have kids that are just going to put the PowerPoint together, or they're just going to put the pictures. I do need a student to do some portion of the research, so just their name and what part they're going to research. So probably I would suggest, if you haven't already, make an outline and then distribute those outline topics to a student, and then just upload that to me. And that's due tonight. Just very easy. Their name, what they're going to be researching. You have the enzyme lab report that's due this week. And I think enzymes was last week. So if you haven't reached out to your partners, please do. And then in the week 6 folder, I want to say that I added this. Let me go check really quickly. I think I added a website. Give me 1 second. Let me double check that I did do that. And I want to say that I added a website that could help you and give you... No, I didn't. Okay, let's see if I can. So what I'm going to do, there's a really good website that I had found. I'd shared it with one student because they needed help, but there's a really good website that gives you sample lab reports. So if you've never written a lab report before, you can look at that website and then just kind of get an idea of what is expected of you. And I mean, don't copy it. I have it there. Don't plagiarize, but just kind of look at it and be like, oh, okay, this is what's expected. Some of the common mistakes from the last lab report were the layout, yes, but in the introduction, I didn't really see anybody. I mean, a few people did. They added background information, which is needed. So like for the pill bugs, that you added just a little bit of background information. They like to live in a leafy environment that's like kind of damp, et cetera, et cetera. Just a little bit of background information needs to be included in the introduction. And then the other thing that was a common thing that I really needed to see improvement on was the procedures. When you're writing a procedure list, all that you really need to keep in mind is that if someone is able to read the procedures, that they can replicate the experiment. They don't need to do anything else. They can just read your instructions and they replicate the experiment from there. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're writing the procedures. And then this last one that I have, cellular respiration lab report, that's just to keep in mind. And I think that one is due not next week, but maybe the week after. I think I wrote down the 25th. So cellular respiration is the virtual labs that you're doing this week, but that lab report will not be due until another like 2 weeks. Do you all have questions on any of this stuff? You can let me know right now. You can unmute if you have any questions.
I don't have any questions at the moment.
Okay. Anybody else have questions? If you're having issues with getting in contact with a group member, can you send me a message on Pronto? If you've already reached out to this person numerous times through Blackboard messages or Pronto, can you send me a message and then I can try from there? If you are having that issue, just let me know and then I'll try and help you as well. Okay, well then if that's it, then I think those are all the updates for the week. If you have questions, you can send me an email or send me a message on Pronto. And that's it. Thank you guys. I will see you all later and send me an email if you need me.
Okay, have a good afternoon. Bye.
Miss, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
On the enzyme lab report, is it the ones we did recently?
Yeah, this was the one you did last week.
Okay, we choose between one of them, right?
Between the two, let's see. What did they do? Peroxidase? Which ones were they? Do you remember?
Oh, I forgot. I know there's two, but I forgot.
Let me double check for you. Well, there's 4. Enzyme activity, enzyme effects on temperature, pH, concentration. You would need all of them. So the big thing about enzymes is that they're very efficient, but they only work in a specific environment. Let's say that they work ideally in 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you were to modify the temperature to 90 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Fahrenheit, that enzyme, which is a protein, is going to change its shape, and therefore it's not going to be able to work, because once a protein enzyme, which is an enzyme, once the protein changes shape, that changes the function. So you do need all 4 of them. So just keep that in mind. Every time that you're going to change the ideal environment for which an enzyme works, that enzyme is not going to work anymore because the protein changed the shape.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. All right. Well, then let me know if you all have questions on Pronto or send me an email. You all have a good day. We'll talk to you soon.